Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a survey level assessment. Basically, a survey level assessment is just setting their goal below their grade level, because you're not going to want to test a student who is in 6th grade and reading at a 3rd grade level at a 6th grade passage. They're just going to fail every time. You want to give them an opportunity to be successful and to grow, and then we can eventually keep pushing them up and pushing them up grade levels as they do better. But in order to get to the survey level assessment, you have to go to the student's profile. Now, if you only have one grade level, you can just get to their profile by clicking on this eye, and it'll take you right to their profile. But if you do not have just one grade level, you can go to student search and find them that way and click on their eye. So here's my student that I tested. I can see where he's testing in the different areas, all the way down, what he's tested on. So obviously he's first percentile. He is below grade level as a first grader. Now, as a first grader, I can test him on nonsense word fluency at grade level just because he can grow with letter names and sounds. But as you get older, you're going to want to go grade levels below. So I'm just going to kind of go in here and show you what a survey level assessment would look like. I went under his name, so this drop down box, here he is, and I'm going to click SLA, survey level assessment. View and refresh. Then I have not tested him on anything because I was able to set his goal at grade level. But if I need to go a grade level below, we're going to pretend he's a 6th grade student. Most of your 6th grade students for reading are going to be doing oral reading fluency. Most kids are at least reading, so oral reading fluency is great. If you're doing like a 3rd grade student who's still working on letter names and sounds, you're going to want nonsense word fluency because they can, practice those letter names and sounds that way. But you're going to want to we're going to pretend he's a 6th grader. He tested in the first percentile. I think he might be able to read a 5th grade passage, so I can pop up a 5th grade passage and have him read that. You're obviously going to need the paper passage for 5th grade instead of 6th grade, so you're going to want that binder or you're going to have to print off a lot of documents. But I can assess him on this. I see where he lands. If he lands above, I think it's the 10th percentile, that's what I'm going to progress monitor him on. So let's say I go through, I'm going to assess him. I have him read this passage, yada, 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 yada. He gets this passage done. If he scores below the 10th percentile, I can do another survey level assessment the way I just did it at 4th grade and see how he does there. But let's pretend he does this. He gets below 10th percentile. So then I have him do a 4th grade level. He gets 12th percentile. So what I'm going to do, once he gets above the 10th percentile, it will pop up his scores. Why is it not popping those up? And see, it'll show you where he scores here. Now, obviously, he didn't do that well, but let's say this said 12th percentile. Okay, well, he's ready, once he's above 10th percentile, to perform, maybe not perform super well on it, but perform well enough where we can see if he's growing. So then I can just click this plus button, and this is how I set his goal. So he's going to test at this grade level, weekly if he's tier 3, bi-weekly if he's tier 2. By the end of, you got to set when you want him to be closing that gap by. So let's say by the end of the year, I'm going to test him weekly or bi-weekly, and I want to make sure he closes the gap. So I'm going to click how much he needs to grow until it turns green. So he needs to grow by the end of the school year this many in order to close the gap to get on grade level. Now, if he reaches his goal and gets 100% on his goal, I can go up one more grade level until I get him on grade level. So we're just slowly closing the gap, but giving him a chance to be successful. So hopefully that makes sense.